Roger, the clock is operating. We're underway.
You're loud and clear.
Roger, we're programming and roll okay. A little bumpy along about here.
Roger. Stand by for 20 seconds.
Roger. We're smoothing out some now, getting out of the vibration area.
Roger, you're through max Q, flight path is...
Roger, feels good through max Q and smoothing out real fine. Cabin pressure coming down by 7, okay, flight very smooth now. Sky looking very dark outside.
All Roger, reading you loud and clear, 7, Cape is go, we're standing by for you.
Roger, Cape is go and I am go, our capsule is in good shape. Fuel 103, 102, oxygen 78,100, cabin pressure holding steady at 5.8, amps is 2.6. All systems are go, indicating 6G. Roger, 0G, and I feel fine. Capsule is turning around. Oh, that view is tremendous.
Roger, turnaround has started.
Roger, capsule turning around, and I could see the booster during turnaround just a couple of 100 yards behind me. It was beautiful.
Roger, 7, you have a go, at least 7 orbits.
Roger, understand go for at least 7 orbits. The Friendship 7 can see clear back a big cloud pattern way back across toward the Cape. We're all set. This is very comfortable at 0G. I have nothing but very fine feeling. It just feels very normal and very good. Have very little dirt floating around in the capsule, just a little bit, and preparing to take xylos still at present time. This Friendship 7, the head movements cause no sensations whatsoever. Feel fine. Reach test, I can hit directly to any spot that I want to hit. I have no problem reaching for knobs and have adjusted to 0G very easily, much easier than I really thought I would. I have excellent vision on the charts, no astigmatism or any malfunctions at all. I feel fine so far, over.
Roger, understand.
This is Friendship 7, have beautiful view of the African coast, both in the scope and out the window. Out the window is by far the best view. Part of the Canaries was hidden by clouds. Roger, how you doing, Gordo? We're doing real fine up here. Everything is going very well, over.
John, you sound good.
Roger, control fuel is 90,100, oxygen is 75,100, amps are 22. All systems are still go, having no problems at all. Control system operating fine, over. The only unusual thing I have noticed is a rather high, what would appear to be a haze layer, up some 7 or 8 degrees above the horizon on the night side. The stars, I can see through it as they go down toward the real horizon, but it's a very visible single band or layer pretty well up above the normal horizon, over.
Shortly, you may observe some lights down there. You want to take a check on them out to your right, over?
Roger, I'm all set to see if I can't get them in sight. Roger, I do have lights in sight on the ground, over.
You understand, they're just off to your right there?
That's affirmative. Just to my right, I can see a big pattern of lights, apparently right on the coast. I can see the outline of a town and a very bright light just to the south of it. On down. Roger, the light's showing very well. Thank everybody for turning them on, will you?
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. It is 12:57 p.m. here in Florida, and I'm going to be hanging out with you guys for probably about an hour. I have a feeling my daughter is going to take a solid nap today, man. She was up basically from 1:30 in the morning until now. So, for whatever reason, she did not want to sleep last night. There was a certain point she just popped up, would not go back to bed. She's exhausted, I'm exhausted, but fuck it, we're here. Let's talk some Star Wars and hang out. And I have a feeling she's going to go down for a couple hours, so I'll be hanging out with you guys for an hour. Welcome. Hope everybody's doing well. It is Thursday. I posted my good old Throwback Thursday post today. It was about Star Wars Galaxies. It is on it's on Twitter. It's on Instagram. I was flipping. I was looking for my Steam link a couple days ago. Actually, yeah. Oh no, it was over the weekend. And I stumbled upon my old Star Wars Galaxies strategy guide, the Prima's official strategy guide. And I was like, God damn. I was just flipping through it, just a bunch of information in here, things that I just probably never paid attention to. I just wanted to have this big shiny book, and it just brought me back. It brought me back for that Star Wars Galaxies MMO nostalgia, right? Yeah, so I actually, this morning, since my daughter would not go to sleep, I rocked her for about an hour, and every time I put her down, she would pop up and cry. I think she's teething. She's a little over 2 years old. At about 6 o'clock in the morning.
New
oh, one sec.
In a new era with new original stories. I'm scared Mando S2 is getting away from that with the casting rumors. Also check the vid I just tagged you in on Twitter, pretty funny.
And Shaw, first, thank you so much for the ridiculously generous super chat and channel support this afternoon, man. I didn't realize there's so many super chats came in the past like 6 minutes while the stream was starting. I apologize, guys. I'm just now looking at the list. Thank you guys so much. I'm long-winded. I will get to them ASAP. But, so yeah, I had maybe 30 minutes this morning. My daughter fell asleep for maybe 20, 30 minutes at 6 in the morning. I was able to play a little bit of Star Wars Galaxies, and I can assure you this, I am going to be playing a few streams of that just to do some combat, just to whatever, have some nostalgia trips in it while we stream. So, anyway, welcome, guys. One sec. There we go. Okay, cool. But yeah, anyway. Sorry for the delay on the super chats. We have a ton that came in before the stream even technically began, so I apologize. But rest assured, Carter, Vince, Elijah, Son, Caretaker, Vince, Braden, Vince, Caleb, Tony, Caleb, Ant, and Cole, I will get to you ASAP. I appreciate the patience. Vince Wynn, thank you so much for the first super chat and channel support. I want more Jar Jar tongue lollipops. Yeah, I was actually going to do a video the other day, Vince, of like weird promotional stuff. And that obviously popped into my head. That I've made a video with the Jar Jar lollipops in there, like products that are dumb, marketing stuff. And most, let's face it, right? Most Star Wars marketing and promotional things are going to end up in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, right? Hey, I know there's a lot of shit that not many people need. Nobody needs a lot of this stuff, right? I just think about those Jar Jar lollipops. Sure, once you get done with the sucker, there's still that Jar Jar head. And where is that? That Jar Jar head is probably in some whale's anus right now, floating in the ocean. It's in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, or it's sitting in like a Staten Island dump, buried under seagull shit. But anyway, man, yeah, I actually was looking for actual movie theater promotional things that they sold and gave out during the prequel and during the sequel trilogy eras, because there's a lot of dumb stuff, right? But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. Kyle Katarn. Yeah, I mean, I could see Kyle Katarn coming back as well in some capacity. I don't know if his story would be identical noiseless, but at the same time, like, I'm not one to need or desire a lot of old characters coming back. I kind of want to focus on new stuff, but that's it. Carter Lovejoy, thank you so much for the channel support as well, man. Carter says, Palpy and Jar Jar in a gay relationship. How would that even work? What is the anatomy of a Gungan? Oh, I'm sure there's weird stuff on the internet that shows it. That's would Palpatine just? Well, apparently Palpatine has a granddaughter, so we don't have that story yet. So there's gonna be some probably past, I don't know, prequel to Palpatine's origins, where he is in a relationship and has a kid and has eventually a granddaughter, right? I don't know. We'll see. But Carter, no more Palpatine, please. If Jar Jar's sprinkled in there, sure, whatever. People seem to love Jar Jar nowadays. It's funny how these things kind of are cyclical, right? It's interesting, but anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Elijah Neal, thank you so much as well. Holiday special sequel and possibly a trilogy. A holiday special sequel is something that came up not too long ago on this channel, on one of these live streams, actually. And I thought about it, and you will probably never, we're not going to get an official one, right? We're not going to get an official one yet, or official one. But what would be really funny is if somebody made an unofficial, like, holiday special sequel on YouTube. You just make it like an hour long. You could even create these fake goofy ass commercials in there, and make it look like it's from the 70s. You know, I'm the one to do it. Maybe I need to do it. I think it would be a lot more involved than I think, but maybe that'll be a project for this coming holiday. If we're not going to get an official sequel to the holiday special, then maybe it's my my duty to make that happen. So anyway, and a trilogy, yeah, that's a no-brainer to me. I'm sure eventually, Elijah, we will get another Star Wars trilogy that is not associated with the sequel or the Skywalker saga. I welcome it. I look forward to it. You know, no strings attached Star Wars with no characters that we're familiar with. At least I hope so. You know, can't we have things that don't have other things in them at some point? But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. Let's see. And Sun Solaris, thank you so much as well. I love this idea. Oh, one sec.
And why Boba Fett? There is literally zero reason to have him in Mando if that even really happens.
It's the
How about
Arbor.
Star Wars World Series of Sabak.
I like that. Took, thank you so much for the generous super chat and channel support this afternoon, man. I greatly appreciate that. Give me one sec. I'm long-winded and I'm way behind this afternoon. Sun Solaris, I love this idea. He says, the next Star Wars film should be like Rat Race. Jabba puts a huge bounty on someone, and as a result, all the bounty hunters fight to capture it first. Dude, I love ideas like that. Let me read that again, okay? Jabba puts a huge bounty on someone, and as a result, all the bounty hunters fight to capture it first. I love that idea. Oh, one sec.
Where Insane Cute Posse were in Star Wars as a pair of bounty hunters, and honestly, well, I kind of want to see that.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that, Rampy. Give me one sec. I appreciate the patience. I'm way behind here. I will get to them. You can bet. Sun Solaris. I love that idea. I want more ideas like that, right? I want Star Wars to branch out and get a little weird and a little experimental with some stuff. And a story like that would be fun. It would definitely be fast paced and fun. It would turn a movie or a trilogy or whatnot, or a show even, into almost like a game, a fun little game for the audience to watch. I love that idea. Whenever somebody asks me what type of Star Wars movie I would want, I keep going back to like a detective story. I think that would be a lot of fun set in the Star Wars universe, you know. But yeah, something like that, playful maybe, fast-paced, competitive bounty hunter race to get to this single bounty for grand rewards from Jabba would be a lot of fun. I'm 100% on board with that. But I appreciate that, Stellaris. And Caretaker Wanted, thank you so much for the support as well. Another clone palp on Exegol 2 for episode 12. I could. Boy. Yeah, all those ideas, let's just dump them. I always appreciate the bad ideas, Caretaker. Yeah, you know how I feel about good old Palpatine being back. Will there be an episode 12? Let's take this statement, Caretaker. Will there eventually be an episode 12? Yeah, there's no question in my mind that eventually we will have an episode 10, 11, and 12. The way I look at it is, sure, they say the Skywalker saga is done now, but let's 30 years from now. Not even that. I mean, maybe 15 years from now. You know, the brass at Lucasfilm and Disney. There's going to be a new cycle of people. It's going to be fresh blood in the ranks of those companies. And you think they're just going to sit on their hands and be like, oh no, 20, 30 years ago they said it was done. Let's just not make an episode 10 or an 11 and 12. Let's just not do it. They said it was done 30 years ago. There's no way. There's no way. So eventually. But anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Vince Wynn, I like this idea too. Blues Brothers inspired comedy about Max Rebo band. Maybe not necessarily Max Rebo. Maybe definitely some Blues Brother inspired comedy. I'm 100% for that. It's not exactly this, but I keep another idea that I keep liking is sure a detective story. I'm on board. I love it, but I really like the idea of like a buddy cop comedy. And it does, you know, when people think of that, they're like, what? No, probably not what you're thinking, but like set in the Star Wars universe, a little bit of headbutting, a little bit of like Men in Blackish, you know. I think a little bit of goofiness would be fun in a Star Wars movie like that. But yeah, I'm on board. The same kind of comedic tones as like The Mandalorian. Which is sometimes subtle, but when it's there, it's funny. Suka, man, still one of my favorite things in the entire Mandalorian. But anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Braden Birmingham, thank you so much as well. More single-player Star Wars games. Yes, it's kind of weird, man, because for me, I primarily play multiplayer games, right? I primarily play multiplayer games, and I'm very specific with what type of multiplayer games I play. But when it comes to Star Wars, I think I want more single player games than multiplayer games. I've had my fill of multiplayer Star Wars games, you know, since Battlefront 2015 came out. Now I want more stories told in single player format, whether that be, you know, ideally for me, an open world, you know, Red Dead Redemption style, GTA style, Skyrim style, Fallout style Star Wars game, single player. That's kind of my dream game. So I'm 100% on board. I'm sure that is a lot of people's answers when you ask them what they want for future Star Wars content. My brain, if somebody asks me that, my brain instantly goes to movies for whatever reason. But yeah, games just as important for sure. And I hope we see more. But I appreciate that, man. And Vince Wynn, Pod Racer go-karts at Galaxy's Edge. Just a few ideas. Yeah. That would be a lot of fun. Like, okay, so yeah, that's a pretty fun idea. Pod Racer go-karts at Galaxy's Edge. That's a fun idea, man. Like, I'm thinking about it in terms of, like, in-universe. They could make it work, right? They could make something fun like that work. Now, it's... What I like about... I like the fact that Galaxy's Edge is a... It's like a... It's a world with a narrative, right? It's just not like... Star Wars Land, and it's just like, over here is the Millennium Falcon ride, and over here is the prequel era, and over here is the sequel. No, Galaxy's Edge is not Six Flags. It's not a hodgepodge of shit. It's a focused, narrative-driven theme park, which is kind of weird to think of, but it is, and it's kind of neat in its uniqueness in that way, right? But they could absolutely make pod racing go-karts at Galaxy's Edge work. Something like that, right? Or pod racing, another pod racer game. Throw it to an indie developer, right? They could make that in a few months. They could probably make it great. Make it great. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that. Caleb Kemp, thank you so much as well, man. Good to see you as always. Hello there, General Kenobi. I think these super chats are all out of order, so I apologize, guys. I'm not going to forget you, but on my screen, they're all out of whack. Don't know why. But Caleb Kemp, thank you so much for the double trouble here. Caleb Kemp says 3 words, Rian Johnson's trilogy. Yeah, I'm on board. Absolutely. It's weird to me when people deny that he's a talented filmmaker. Sure, you might not like the movie he made in the Star Wars universe and the Skywalker saga. Okay. Fucking, there's been a ton of Star Wars stuff that I haven't liked. Okay. There's been a ton of Star Wars stuff that a lot of people haven't liked. Okay, you didn't like a Star Wars movie. Cool, dude. I find it really hard difficult to understand. Maybe it's just out of like a vindictive nature or a chip on her shoulder when people say that he's not a good movie maker. It's weird to me because he is. And for him to be at the reins of 3 movies, a trilogy, if that's going to be a thing, I think would be I think it'd be great. I mean, obviously he is not formulaic. Obviously he's extremely talented. And I think he understands themes and he understands, I don't know. I would love it. Absolutely. I would love it. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, Caleb. And Tony Mario Golden II, after High Republic and Obi-Wan show, nothing for 10 years, give Star Wars room to breathe and come back with something that stands on its own. I love that idea. Yeah, obviously that's not going to happen, Tony, but I am in favor of a long hiatus. I am in favor of, I'm in favor of taking a long break. Now, well, what would you do with the channel? The same thing I've done for almost 10 years now. Just to talk about Star Wars and stream and whatever. I would rather there be a break and not have a lot to talk about for 10 years. It's fine with me. I don't care. This is not, it's, I'm not on here. Obviously I don't soak in the news. I make 1 video a week. So, but no, I'm completely on board, Tony. I love that idea. I think I've said it before, and I'm sure we all have, but in the past, it was different. Star Wars was about anticipation. You waited for it. You had to wait a decade, 2 decades, and yeah, the anticipation, the build up. What is it going to be like? What is it going to be like? And I kind of miss that. I miss that anticipation. It's more fragile than a Marvel. And I think the reason that it maybe is a little more fragile than a Marvel or something like that is because Marvel started off with a bang and it was just like, here is a ton of movies. This is what we're doing in the future. Boom, 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 boom. Push it out, push it out, push it out. A lot of characters, boom. Star Wars started out slow, dude. 3 movies. It ended in 83, picked up in 99, ended in 2005, picked back up in 2015. And that's kind of been the nature of the beast, 3 movies, break, 3 movies, break, 3 movies, ton of stuff. I'm not talking about books and all that stuff. Obviously, that continued in the EU, but there is a part of me that does miss that kind of anticipation, that break, that time to breathe, right? before the next one comes out. But maybe I'm in the minority. Maybe that's just my old way of thinking. It's for kids that are growing up right now and are living in this sequel trilogy era, in this new modern Star Wars era. They're gonna know no different, and it won't even matter to them. What do you mean you used to have to wait, you old man? What do you mean? So trust me, I completely recognize that I'm kind of thinking in the past, but it is an aspect, that anticipation, that build up is something that I personally do miss, But anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Ant Shot First, good to see ya. Hope you're doing well. Ant says, I want new characters in a new era with new original stories. I'm scared Mando Season 2 is getting away from that with the casting rumors. Also, check the vid I just tagged you in on Twitter. Pretty funny. Well, first of all, thank you so much for the channel support. Let me take a quick sip of water. I might need to go get a refill, guys. So I'm in complete agreement. I'm a little more optimistic, I think, about a lot of the Mando news. I'm very curious. Godly, I really don't know though, man. I'm with you. I'm in complete agreement with you, man. I want new characters, new eras, new stories, new. That is, to me, the most important thing for the future of Star Wars. New stuff. When you start leaning on what came before, constantly, over and over and over again, it becomes very, just kind of formulaic and repetitive to me, redundant. For me, the future of Star Wars lies in what's in, the new stuff, not characters we're familiar with. So I really hope that's not the case with the Mandalorian Season 2. I know a lot of people obviously love like Bo-Katan and Ahsoka and Boba Fett and if all these casting rumors are true, obviously a lot of people are going to be excited for them because they love those characters. I get it. I completely get it. But I'm looking at it from the standpoint of the Mandalorian, just the Mandalorian, right? What made the first season so special to me, and yeah, it was just fun, plain, simple Star Wars storytelling. But what made it extra special to me is that it was kind of a standalone thing. It didn't lean or rely on what came before or who came before. Sure, there's the macro, right? We got Mandos, we got Empire remnants. I get it, but not characters, not situations, not stories. These are new. This is new. And that's what really intrigued me. That's what made me like pull the show even closer to me is that new factor. And I really hope it doesn't fall into the kind of Star Wars reference whack-a-mole. But I think I'm more optimistic. I don't think it will. Could be wrong. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. And I will pull up my Twitter and take a look ASAP after this stream for sure. But I appreciate that. And Coleslaw, what's going on, HG? Hope all is well. Jax, things are still crazy here. Yeah, hope everything's going well where you're at over there on the west, west of me.
What I want
one
to see
sec.
is something more like a mix of Firefly and Star Trek. Exploring the fringes
Love
of the
it.
galaxy, diving into the unknown regions, etc. Maybe bumping into more primal expressions of the Force here and there.
Love it. What's up, Luke? It's good to see you. I thought about you the other day. I was firing up some Star Wars Galaxy emulator, and I actually uninstalled the Old Republic not too long ago. And I think somebody brought up Star Wars: The Old Republic on a few streams ago, and I was like, yeah, this guy named Luke Fredericks built this huge ass this guild stronghold, and it was awesome. And then I had to kind of stop playing. But thank you so much, man. I greatly appreciate that. Give me 1 sec. I am so far behind. I got Cole. I'm gonna go through the names. So if you guys are waiting, I will absolutely get to you. This stream will be archived as well. So if you don't want to stick around, I get it, but it will be uploaded after the fact. I got Cole, James, Vince, Matten, the Gungan Lord, Took, Steven, Rumpy, Fofo, Rowan, Red Mouse, Carter, Elijah, the Gungan, Saber, Luke, and Baggings. I appreciate it, guys, and I appreciate the patience. Cool. Coleslaw, what's going on, HG? Hope all's well on Jax. Things are still crazy here. Yeah, things are... In Florida, man, I think they're really getting back to normal. I don't know if it's... I don't know how to feel about it, you know? It's really interesting how different the two camps are in terms of we got to open up and let's hunker down and keep things closed because... and I think maybe the truth is somewhere in the middle if there can be a middle ground. I really don't know. Florida seems to be opening a lot. Jacksonville, obviously the beaches are open, and I believe all the state parks and whatnot are open. Restaurants are open for the most part. It's up to the discretion of the business owner, I believe. There are some distancing restrictions. But other than that, things seem to be, getting back to some kind of normalcy. Yeah, kind of. It still feels weird going to the grocery store or something like that and seeing people in masks. It is just like, and like dots on the ground and people kind of wary of one another. It's kind of a little loss of humanity, right? But, and I'm ready for that to kind of, go away, if it ever will. I'm sure this is going to change a lot about, I'm sure this is going to change a lot of what just kind of a lot of people do, how they interface with the world. I'm sure there's going to be a certain segment of the population who, even when the all clear is ordered, are still going to wear masks. I'm sure that's going to be a common thing that you see every once in a while when you go to the mall or go to the store or go fill up your tank at the gas station, Be interesting. But anyway, I appreciate that, Cole. Hope you're hanging it in there as well. And James Oki, okay, I want a Band of Brothers gritty Star Wars live action show from the perspective of the Empire. Yeah, I like that idea. That's kind of an idea that's been tossed around for a long time. I've had that same idea as well, man. If there's one of my favorite Star Wars fan films is called Jakku First Wave. You might like it if you're looking for that kind of thing. There's no action in it, but it's really well acted, and it's 3 stormtroopers before they jump down on Jakku. It's really well done. I don't know why that reminded me of it, but yeah, I'm on board. I like the idea of following a group of stormtroopers, humanizing them a little bit, and maybe, I don't know, changing people's perspective of what, I don't know how to put it. At the same time, I like that stormtroopers are kind of the cannon fodder of the original trilogy, but it would be fun to kind of explore the individual stormtroopers and bring some humanity to them, kind of like they did with the Clone Wars animated series, right? Something like that. But no, I'm on board, man. And I don't know where it would take place, but what would be, I think, kind of fun would be, oh God, I don't even know. I think indoor would probably be one of the best things, because it's just this all-out massive warfare on this moon, and I don't know, it'd be fun. Anyway, I appreciate that, James. And Vince, a political thriller about the scientists who dared to contradict and disprove the well-accepted biological fact that midichlorians be the Force. Well, that's a little goofy, but I'm on board with the beginning of that. I would love a political thriller, Vince. I'm sure I've mentioned this before. You probably heard me talk about it, but my favorite modern Star Wars book is Bloodline. I love it. It's a political thriller. It's a little espionage. It's a little whodunit. It's a little who can you trust. And I think a show or movies like that would be just perfect, man. I love that idea. But and sure, we could throw some scientists in there too. I guess, yeah, midichlorians have been mentioned in some modern canon stuff, right? I'm trying to think, have midichlorians, obviously they're mentioned in the prequels and stuff like that, but has midichlorians been mentioned in, let's see, midichlorians. Whoa, I butchered that spelling. Thank you, Google autocorrect. Appearances. It looks like... Oh, let's click on canon. Okay, so canon appearances of midichlorians. Canon appearances. Okay, canon appearances, all right? Phantom Menace, 3 episodes of the Clone Wars, Revenge of the Sith, mentioned only. Obviously, they're all mentioned only. And Star Wars Rebels, A World Between Worlds. Those are the 6 canon appearances of midichlorians. The only one that is new in terms of like new modern Star Wars is the 1 episode of Rebels. That's interesting. Interesting. Anyway, I appreciate that, Vince. And Matten, thank you so much as well. I honestly believe that the OT and prequels are maxed out by this point. With that last arc of the Clone Wars, the circle now truly is complete. No, I completely agree, Matten. Obviously my favorite era of Star Wars is the original trilogy, but I want new. I want to explore new eras, new territory, new characters, new, planets, whatever. I understand people love what they love. I love the OT, like I said, that era. Doesn't mean I constantly want stuff from it, A lot of people love the Old Republic, and a lot of people want like movies made from Old Republic stories or books or even KOTOR. And I sit back and I'm like, that's never been what Star Wars is, man. You don't make a Star Wars movie from a Star Wars book. That's not how it's ever worked. Sure, they released the original Star Wars book, ghost written by, can't remember his name, as the movie was being made. But like, that's not how it works. That sounds like a complete boring idea to me. You have these stories in book form. This is not Harry Potter. Star Wars is a big spectacle meant to be experienced first on the big screen, right? And I've never understood the desire to continuously just go to the same places that you've been before in Star Wars with the same characters, the same stories, the same scenarios, chasing the same villains. Never understood it. Let's branch out. Let's get excited about new. Because if you don't, you start... Yeah, Alan Dean Foster. Thank you, Tristan. If you don't, you start kind of mulching over the same shit over and over again, right? But anyway, Matten, I appreciate that. And the Gungan Lord, thank you so much as well. What up, my friend? So how about we get a Disney Plus show with the most cool bounty hunters, Embo, Cad Bane, etc.?
New stories.
One sec.
Why are people hung up on Anakin, the Old Republic, and things we already know? However, the way they treated Han Solo in his film with brand new characters, I wouldn't mind more of that.
Nathan, thank you so much for the channel support, man. I greatly appreciate that. Give me 1 sec or minutes. I appreciate that, man. I got a lot of super chats ahead of you. But I will absolutely get to you. And the stream will be archived for anybody that's curious. So, Gungan Lord. Yeah, I like that idea. I maybe not with bounty hunters that we're already familiar with, because I mean I don't know. Golly. We got a lot of cool bounty hunters in Mandalorian. I like that idea. I think for me, maybe something a little different would work. It would be, Luke, I'll get to Luke's, but he mentioned Firefly. I think something like that would be fun. Like a crew. We follow a crew, kind of like Rebels, right? Follow a crew, and maybe they're smugglers or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, a show about bounty hunters is kind of what The Mandalorian is a little bit. But for whatever your post, Gungan, reminds me of something that I really, really wanted in Battlefront 2. I wanted a bounty hunter DLC pack. That's what I wanted. I wanted a bounty hunter DLC pack. I wanted, sure, everybody wanted Ahsoka in the game. Great. Yeah, cool. I wanted, like, IG-88. I wanted Cad Bane. I wanted Greedo. I wanted all these bounty hunters to, like, all of a sudden just be thrown into Battlefront 2 as, I guess this just be a lot of villains, but I think it would have been fun to just kind of have a hodgepodge of various bounty hunters, but yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Gungan. And Took17, kind of like you, new. And why Boba Fett? There's literally zero reason to have him in Mando, if that even really happens. How about Star Wars World Series of Sabacc? I like that. What about a Star Wars Sabacc online game? That would be kind of fun to play. I mean, they probably have that, right? That's too easy of an idea for that not to exist, right? But no, I'm in complete agreement. Like, I mean that I'm optimistic that it will be done well, right? I'm optimistic. If it even happens, that's the thing. If it even happens, a lot of rumors, a lot of exclusive announcements that Boba Fett, Tamara Morrison, Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka, and then Bo-Katan's back as well. I can't remember the actress's name, the voice actress even, but like, I'm optimistic that it'll be done well. We'll see. But like you, I what held up The Mandalorian for me was the new factor, and the more you kind of pour what came before and familiar faces and stuff like that on a show that kind of exists as its own entity, the more it just feels kind of like a, hey, remember this, a trip down memory lane, which I don't want it to be. I'm reserving judgment on it, obviously, until we see how it's executed. But as a concept, the idea of constantly bringing back characters over and over and over again and having all of these connections makes the universe of Star Wars feel small and kind of unimaginative. That being said, could be great. And it might not even be Boba Fett. I mean, for all we know, it could be Rex. And knowing that, if it is true, knowing that Bo-Katan and Ahsoka are in there, then I think it would be a good bet that's Tamara Morrison's probably playing Rex. Who knows? Could be wrong. But anyway, I appreciate that, man. Hope you and the kids are doing well. And Stephen Homelak, good to see you as always, Stephen. Stephen says, new stories that return to the OT's strange, magical blend of influences, Eastern and Western art, mythology, and history. That's why this OT fanboy loved The Mandalorian. That's the vibe that you got from that? Yeah, I mean, quite, yeah, I completely... For me, The Mandalorian was just... it is... I explained it to a guy on the host of Across the Universe podcast. He asked me why The Mandalorian like resonates so well with Star Wars fans, and I just said it's simple. You know, it's just completely simple, linear, good guy or bad guy or bounty hunter heart of gold. It's just like simple storytelling, super simple storytelling. But I'm with you, Steven. Like, I think that's why a lot of that's why I liked when it comes to portraying or showing us the Force. I definitely like The Last Jedi, showing us just kind of, I don't know, Luke Skywalker talking about the Force, how, you know, the Jedi do not own that power. There's Rey and Luke's brief training there, and I feel like that movie brought the Force back to that kind of that mythological, that intangible realm. You know what I mean? That's why I really liked it. So, no, I'm in agreement there. Yeah. This OT fanboy. I'm gonna make a shirt. Steven, that just says OT fanboy on it. I wonder if people would buy that. But I appreciate that, man. It's like the difference between Empire Strikes Back Yoda and The Rise of Skywalker dual lightsaber kills Palpatine. It's like those are two completely different spectrums of Star Wars to me, and I will always choose like Empire Yoda type Star Wars, you know what I mean? If that makes any sense whatsoever. Makes sense in my brain. But yeah. And Rampy, thank you so much, Rampy470. I had a weird dream where Insane Clown Posse were in Star Wars as a pair of bounty hunters, and honestly, I kind of want to see that. First of all, they'd probably be all made up. You wouldn't even know they're there. I guess it would work. Wasn't there a rumor that NSYNC was going to be in The Phantom Menace? Right? Let's see. NSYNC, The Phantom Menace. NSYNC appears to have secretly ended up in a Star Wars movie. What? Difference various brothers that Joey was supposed to have a very special set of characteristics in a role as Jedi Knight. So yeah, they were or Joey Fatone was supposed to be in. Anyway, that is a weird dream, Rampy. But yeah, I mean we could have some cameos, right? On the list of celebrities or artists that would get a cameo in a Star Wars movie because of connections or whatnot, I would think that the Insane Clown Posse are pretty low on the list of, hey, you want to be in a Star Wars movie. But anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Fofo Nablis, what about a Star Wars silent film? Just a film that moves its story with just visual representation and the emotions of its characters. Oh god, I like that idea in theory. I like that idea as a concept. Maybe it would work better as like a fan film. That is a lot to bargain with for a major studio movie. You know what I mean? A silent film in today's faster and more intense and big boom boom boom. Dude, if somebody made that as a Star Wars, like a fan film, I would love it. Just as a project, as an attempt to do something different, right? But I don't think that would ever work on the big screen, man. I like it. You could probably watch a lot of Star Wars movies as silent films and still obviously gauge what's going on. But you could probably do that with any movie, right? So I don't know. Now, you could do it in a way where, let's say, the Kenobi show, right? I've been saying that I would love the Kenobi show to be kind of like Castaway in space, where he's just marooned himself. He's self-isolating. And that could almost be like a little bit of a silent movie or a silent show, you know, with gathering his own thoughts and stuff like that. But I don't think that would work for a lot of for a big blockbuster movie, man. That being said, if anybody's thinking of making a Star Wars fan film, I think that is a pretty cool idea. Sound effects and music. I think it would be a fun project to work on, you know. But yeah, anyway. Oh yeah, there was a score-only version of TLJ on Disney Plus. Yeah, I forgot about that. I haven't watched that yet, but that's basically a silent movie, right? Yeah, it is, really. Interesting. And Rowan Jeremy, thank you so much as well. I really want to see Taika Waititi. Oh, see what Taika Waititi comes up with. Yeah, I was. Let me see his IMDb. I think the only movie that I've ever seen of his is Jojo Rabbit. Let me look at his IMDb. I don't really go to many movies anymore since our daughter was born. So, and I haven't really watched any like, what am I thinking of? Any Marvel movies in a very long time. So, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed Jojo Rabbit. I don't really, and obviously, you know, his credits in The Mandalorian too. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what he comes up with as well. And that's for any director, any writer or whatnot. It's like I want so many Star Wars projects made from so many different Star Wars creators, right? No, I haven't seen Ragnarok. I haven't seen a Marvel movie in so long. I've not seen. I've seen less Marvel movies than I've seen or not seen. How did I phrase that? Did I fuck that up? I have seen more. Wait, I have not seen more. How am I? Actually, let me count. Let's see this. Marvel movies. Let's check it out. I've not seen more Marvel movies than I've seen. There you go. So, I have not seen Avengers Endgame. Have not seen Captain Marvel. Have not seen Infinity War. Have not seen Ragnarok. I did see Homecoming. Oh, wait, no. Is Homecoming the animated one? No. I did not see Homecoming. I did not see Age of Ultron. I did not see... Oh, this is not a good list. Okay, this is a better list here. This is a chronological list, it looks like. Yeah, you get the picture. Okay, here we go. Have not seen Far From Home. Have not seen Endgame, have not seen Marvel, have not seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, have not seen Infinity War, have not seen Ragnarok, have not seen Homecoming, have not seen Age of Ultron, have not seen The Dark World, and I think that's it. So the only ones the most recent one that I've seen is Black Panther, Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, I didn't see Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I don't think. Doctor Strange. I don't know if I saw that or not. Civil War. Yeah, so, just whatever. They got kind of formulaic, and eventually I'm sure I'll get around to it. A lot of those came out, like, when my daughter was born, so just kind of, you know, that's how it goes. For all you parents out there, you know how it goes. But yeah, anyway. I appreciate it, Roan. I'm excited, too. And Red Mouse, thank you so much. Something in the distant future where our heroes are basically long-forgotten myths. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Distant future or distant past. I like the idea of well, even when Rey in The Force Awakens and Finn are kind of discussing, or you know, they meet Han and they find out, you know, Luke is real. I thought he was a myth. That kind of stuff is fun, right? Internally in the stories, not everybody is going to know who Cad Bane or Boba Fett is. Most people in the Star Wars universe, internally inside of the universe, day-to-day people are not going to know those names, right? They might even not know who Luke Skywalker is, right? So it's kind of fun to have that fish out of water, like, huh? Who? What? Mythology of it all. So yeah, I love that idea. I love that idea. For me, maybe it would be a distant future would be interesting. That might be... whenever Star Wars tries to go in the future, you know? Like, well, how do I put this? I think future should definitely be reserved for movies, and I think most movies moving forward that go beyond the events of The Rise of Skywalker will probably hug up pretty close on the timeline with those movies. That being said, when you go into the past in Star Wars, you can just play around with whatever you want in the past. And I might prefer that, you know, a big time jump to go in the past. Check out maybe who discovered the Force is something that I've always thought would be kind of neat. But no, man, I love it. Love it. I appreciate that, Red Mouse. And Carter Lovejoy, I want Lucasfilm to make an Office-inspired show centered around the First Order that continues the Kylo Ren undercover boss skit on SNL. I don't, yeah. I mean, a web series would be fun, right? I don't think they're ever going to do that. But, I mean, like, that is a really fun idea. And when something like that happens, I always I mean, I guess I kind of did the Imperial Paper Pusher videos way back in the day, like 8 years ago, right? It's kind of similar to that. But I'm kind of surprised nobody's picked that up. That like Kylo Ren undercover boss idea. And picked it up and made it for their own web internet show. But yeah, I really need to make more Imperial Paper Pusher videos. The first one was fun. It was dumb. It was like 3 minutes long. It was really goofy and inappropriate. The second one was more like, I guess, straightforward and like I work at an office. Maybe the third one will be back to goofy. We'll see. I appreciate that, man. Oh, you want some bounty hunters, Elijah? That would be fun. What bounty hunters? Okay, let's see. Forlom and Zuckus. Obviously, I don't think that's going to happen. But those are examples of what I was talking about earlier with the what I wanted from the Star Wars Battlefront 2, like bounty hunter pack would be fun, but yeah, man, I don't think that's gonna happen. Maybe in the future with some comics and whatnot, that's where those stories could be told. But yeah, anyway, Elijah, I appreciate that, man. More bounty hunters, more scuzzy, more underworld. I am always in favor of that. Oh, there we go. Oh, is my daughter still asleep? Yeah, she's sleeping with a blanket and has Minnie Mouse in her arms. How cute, how cute. The Gungan Lord, thank you so much. Next film, clones who are still around in the New Republic era are bounty hunters that get a bounty. But plot twist is once they set their differences aside, a bad fate happens to one of them. Let me read that again. Clones who are still around in the New Republic era are bounty hunters that get a bounty. Is there canon? Is there canon for like what happens to the clones? Obviously, a lot of them became stormtroopers, and then that was phased out. But did they just die off? Did all of them basically just stay in the ranks until retirement? Was it like Logan's Run where they were killed at a certain age? Interesting. It would be fun. And that's Gungan Lord. That's kind of why I'm almost suspicious of the whole announcement that you know, it's going to be Boba Fett and the Mandalorian. I personally would like there to be a random clone in the Mandalorian. I think that would be cool. And obviously that would be Tamara Morrison. He was a clone, right? So in my heart of hearts, and maybe it's more hopes and wishes, but I think deep down, and maybe it's just me wanting this, but it's not going to be Boba Fett in the Mandalorian. It's just going to be you know, a random clone, if it would work. I mean, would the time work out? Would the timeline work? I guess it would. Yeah, I guess it would. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, Gungan. And Saber Entertainment, I need my fan films. You should make one. I wish, man. What's funny, Saber, we're talking fan films, I don't have time to make one. I don't have the patience or desire nowadays. But back in like 2013 or something like that, I started writing a little fan film. I had a sketchbook and I started like sketching things out and making a few storyboards. And I was very active in the 501st back then too. So I had some people at my disposal that were willing to help. Never got film anything, never did anything really. So my idea was to follow like 5 stormtroopers on Endor during the Battle of Endor, and they get word over their communications that a TIE fighter has gone down and they have to go rescue the pilot. And as they receive this communication, a big like squeak happens in their headset. They all like, you know, and they look up and the Death Star has exploded, and then there's no communication. They're on their own. And when I started playing Battlefront 2, I was like, what the hell? Well, I guess my idea wasn't that unique after all, because this is basically what I was thinking. So that's the idea that I had back in the day. It was just basically a couple pages of storyboards, nothing more. I don't have a desire to make a Star Wars fan film nowadays. You know, maybe in the distant future, when my daughter's old enough, or to maybe help out and get a kick out of it, but we'll see a little more when there's a little more free time. But we shall see. But I appreciate that, man. If you want some fan films, check out Days Past, Star Wars Days Past. Star Wars Days Past is a great fan film. Great fan film. It's all great acting and it's not shoot 'em up, bang bang, force lightning, crazy lightsaber effects. No, it's not that. It's great. Days Past, a Star Wars fan film. Another good one is called Jakku First Wave. Same kind of deal. Great acting, not bang bang craziness, just great acting, storytelling. I like it. But anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Luke Fredericks, good to see you. Hope you're doing well, man. Luke says, what I'd want to see is something more like a mix of Firefly and Star Trek, exploring the fringes of the galaxy, diving into the unknown regions, etc. Maybe bumping into more primal expressions of the Force here and there. Love the idea. If you're still here, man, thank you so much for the extremely generous support. Hope you're still flying. Hope you're still having fun with that, and hope you're staying safe through all this nonsense. So, I love that idea. I love a more exploratory Star Wars show. That's something that's been brought up on this channel before. I'm a big Next Generation fan. Love me some Next Generation. It's my Star Wars. It's one of my favorite science fiction shows. If I had to pick a captain out of all science fiction, I would pick Picard. And to have a Star Wars show that is like, I don't know, like the surveyor team of the New Republic going out and, exploring the unknown regions, even getting into intergalactic space out on the fringes, as you said, would be a lot of fun. You could play around in that world without very much restriction, right? And I love it. I would absolutely love something like that without bumping into being too similar to other franchises that I know and love. I think there's a lot of room for a Star Wars show to explore like that, God, there's so many great ideas out there to make Star Wars shows of, and some of them are maybe a little too weird and different for them to try nowadays, right? Maybe in the future they'll get a little bit more experimental and try different things when it comes to Star Wars, because look, I like The Mandalorian as much as anybody else. It's a great show. It's fun. But let's face it, it is a very simple, bounty hunter, blasters, no bullshit Star Wars show. And it's great, but let's say 10, 15 years from now, let's get a little weird with it, right? Let's get a little weird with it. But I'm on board, Luke. And I like how you said primal expressions of the Force here and there. Yeah, that's kind of how I look at the Night Sister Witches now. Before, when somebody brought up Night Sister Witches and I never watched the Clone Wars and I didn't know anything about them, I was like, what? Witches? What? Magic? Huh? And then as I watched the show, I was like, oh, this is just another expression of the Force. It's kind of it's interesting. It's their view of the Force. It was interesting. So, I would love more stuff like that. But anyway, Luke, I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well, man. And if you listen to this on an archived upload, I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. And Baggings, thank you so much for the channel support as well this afternoon. I don't think Disney should make an Obi-Wan show. We don't need it. Feels like they're only making it for those people who think Hello There is funny. Yeah, who would have thought, back in 99 to 2005, all of these phrases would become memes in 2020, or definitely before that, but huh? Hello there? It's weird. It's weird to think about. It's weird to think about this. I guess it's a generational thing, man. There's a lot of stuff like that people repeat, and I guess think it's funny. I don't know, but yeah. For me, you know, I like it. All depends on how they execute it, what they do with the Obi-Wan show. I want it to be a little heady. I want it to be like a character study. I have a feeling it's not going to be. I have a feeling it's going to be Obi-Wan with a lightsaber and he's going to be fighting stuff. That's not what I want. Do we need it? No. I would rather them put their efforts into new stories, new scenarios, new characters. That being said, a lot of, you know, Kenobi is just like such a safe bet of a show in terms of like getting people excited for something. And it's weird to me, man, because if they were to make a Star Wars show about, and they're making a Cassian Andor show, obviously, right? I think that's still in the works. I'm not excited for that, but I'll watch it, obviously. But if they were to make a Star Wars show and release no information about it, no character, no nothing, blah, 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 would people get as excited for it as a Kenobi show? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Oh, I think that's true, but I think the reason that I associate it with the prequels is because that is always the image that gets posted whenever that hello there gets brought up on Twitter or wherever. There's always like a prequel picture of Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know. But yeah, Baggings. Yeah, we'll see, man. To me, it's I'm not that excited for it. I would rather them focus on new. That being said, it's all in the execution. It could be an interesting character study of Obi-Wan after the downfall of everything, where he's been in self-isolation. Could be interesting, you know. Could be interesting, but I appreciate that, man. And Carter Lovejoy, an anime anthology film like The Animatrix. Yeah. I remember when The Animatrix came out. What year was that? Was that like 2005? And let's see. Animatrix. 2003. Okay. I remember when The Animatrix came out. I got it just because I thought it looked so different and great. And I was never into anime or anything. And obviously I was a Matrix fan. And I believe the sequel was coming out to The Matrix around that time too. Could be wrong. Maybe it's a little later. I don't know. I could look that up, but meh. So yeah, that would be fun. An anthology film like The Animatrix, an anime anthology film like The Animatrix. That would work. I mean, I feel like a lot of people would get on board and watch that. Throw it out on some Disney Plus, you know? I forgot about The Animatrix, man. I'm gonna have to... I'm sure I still have it somewhere. I'm sure it's... Well, that being said, I just donated a ton of DVDs. If it was in anywhere, it's probably one of those boxes that went to Goodwill. So, yeah. No, I liked The Animatrix. I kind of forgot about that. Now, the sequels to The Matrix, on the other hand, yeah, the second Matrix movie isn't bad. I don't mind it. I think it has some interesting ideas and stuff like that. But the third was just like, to me, it was just dog shit. I could not get into it whatsoever. But that's how it goes. Anyway, I appreciate that, Carter. And Saber Entertainment, thank you so much as well. I gotta head out, but I've seen you since the first Star Wars Changes videos watching ever since. I want fan films. Peace, dude. Well, that's really cool. So you've been watching the channel since 2011. How hard is that? How hard is that to believe? It's hard for me to believe that I've been doing stuff on YouTube for 9 years. It's crazy. And I'm proud of it because I've done things at my own pace. You know, I've never felt pressured to just upload constantly for the hell of it. Yeah, it's kind of a project of passion, right? And to think it's been a part of my life for 9 years. I've only been alive on this planet for almost 34 years. That's a good chunk of time. It's been in my life for a long time. It's kind of crazy. So I got out of the Navy in 2011. That's kind of the way so I was 25 when I got out of the Navy. That's hard to believe too. So that's insane. Anyway, thanks for tuning in all these years, Saber. I'm not going to promise any fan films for me. Maybe 15, 20 years from now. We'll see. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. And Predator Gamer, I think a Breaking Bad style show about spice runners would be cool. Maybe they could throw a cameo of Hondo in or something. Yeah, well, that kind of goes to like the idea of a Firefly show or a ship of smugglers. You know, is kind of what I mentioned earlier. A crew on a ship. I mean, we got Rebels, Firefly. There's all sorts of shows and things like that, right? That have been not only in Star Wars but a lot of other franchises. But yeah, I think in terms of a show that would really showcase a lot of the Star Wars universe and the variety of Star Wars things, locations, characters, all sorts of things. A great way to explore the Star Wars galaxy would be with smuggler characters, you know. Yeah. Because smuggler characters are going to be running around the galaxy. They're going to be going here and there, scheming and doing all sorts of stuff. And in terms of, kind of showcasing what the variety of Star Wars has to offer, I think a show following spice runners, smugglers, all that kind of stuff would be a lot of fun. Probably a lot of, and it would be extremely adventurous too, you know. But anyway, I appreciate that, Predator. And Franz Nerdnan, how about a new holiday special? I think we talked about this like at the very beginning of the stream. I don't think that will ever happen. I don't necessarily want it to happen, but I would love someone, maybe I'll do it, to make a new holiday special. Maybe that will be my my project. I will make a holiday special sequel this Christmas. Yeah? You want that to happen? I can make that happen. If I start now, I can make that happen. So, friends, maybe around Christmas, maybe around the holidays, I will upload a holiday special sequel and just make it ridiculously stupid. Just that's the point. Hey, that's the point. It's gonna be dumb. I need to put up like a chalkboard or something like that in my room, because my old office, I used to have a big whiteboard and I would jot down ideas. But yeah, I'll remember that. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Nathan Pelka, Admiral Akbar, Mr. Wolfman, and Franz once again. Nathan says, new stories, why are people hung up on Anakin the Old Republic and things we already know? However, the way they treated Han Solo in his film with brand new characters, I wouldn't mind more of that. Yeah, Solo is a Star Wars movie that the more I watch it, the more I kind of like, you know. It's still pretty low on my list of favorite Star Wars movies, but it's fun. It's often lighthearted, not as lighthearted as I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be a little more, not that they need to make what I want, right? It obviously resonates with a lot of people. A lot of people love it, but yeah, it's anyway. I'm in agreement, Nathan. Like, I understand. I get it from a fan's perspective, right? We love Anakin, the Old Republic, these eras, the things that we already know. They're a part of us. They're in our DNA. We love them. And yeah, I mean, I don't fault people for wanting more of the same. I completely get it. I get it. But it's not what I want. Like, it's interesting to me because people say they want like a Vader movie. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that on the stream. I get it. We like Vader. I completely get it. No fault. No ill will. Get it. But like, we've had a lot of Vader stuff in Star Wars. Vader's been around for a long time. Is it time to kind of like make new stuff? Yeah? Why do we want more of the same? Why do we want more of the same? To me, that's boring. To me, that's just kind of like mulching over the same shit and being stuck in a rut and not advancing and not experimenting and not innovating. You know, it's I don't know. It's weird. It's I don't know. It's yeah. We'll see. It's kind of reminds me of phones in a way, right? Every 6 months or so, there's a new damn phone. What's different about this one? Oh, it's a little faster and the camera's a little better. Oh, cool. What's different about this one? Oh, it's a little faster and the camera's a little bit better. Oh, what's the difference with this one? Oh, it's a little faster and the camera's a little bit better. More Vader. More what I know. Anyway. I appreciate that, Nathan. And Admiral Akbar, hey Greedo, you doing good? I am, Admiral. Thank you for asking. I'm doing well. Been past since March 26th. I've been kicking it into gear. Been running 4 to 5. This morning was a 5-mile morning. Ran 5 miles this morning. Been doing that since the end of March. I used to run all the time, but kind of since my daughter was born about 2 years ago, 2.5, yeah, about a little over 2 years ago, I haven't done anything. But now I've kicked it into gear, and it's becoming a part of my daily routine, man, and I love it. And I've been throwing some dumbbells in there, too. I'm getting into shape for a purpose. For a purpose. I'll let you guys know down the line, but I'm doing good. I'm feeling good, Admiral. Better than I have in a long time, physically, so... I appreciate that, man. And Wolfman, thank you so much for the channel support. I'm in the micro series swinging a green lightsaber. The Wolfman is? Wolfman is. I need to get on that. I need to, let me see. Is this the link? I think this is not the link. Is it the link? It's Kenobi, a Star Wars fan film. Nope, that's the wrong link. Watch. Okay, here we go. Star Wars Clone Wars Volume 1, Volume 2. Upscale remastering. So maybe tomorrow I have some people coming over to look at the house tomorrow, fix some stuff that under our warranty. Maybe tomorrow when my daughter goes down for a nap, I will fire up that the first volume of the Clone Wars 2003 miniseries and start watching it. But yeah, that's what I'll do. I need to get on this, Wolfman. I need to get on this. But yeah, I appreciate that. And Mr. Nerdinan, once again, thank you so much. How about a Animal Planet type Star Wars show like Planet Earth, but based on creatures of the Star Wars universe? Dude, that's... Oh, sorry, guys. Was that super loud? I just punched my microphone. Yes, I actually posted about that on Twitter not too long ago. Maybe like 6 months ago. It might be further back than I thought. I think I brought up the idea of like a National Geographic magazine, like a one and done publication, Star Wars kind of thing. I probably mentioned Planet Earth too, but I love that kind of, yeah, the nature of the Star Wars universe. The creatures of various planets. Certain episodes could be about Tatooine or Naboo or various other planets, you know. But something like that. See, there's a lot of really great ideas like that many of us would probably be super excited to see. But the amount of effort that would go into a show like that, would it be worth them making it? Probably not very many people would watch it relative to like The Mandalorian, right? So when we got a lot of, I feel like we always have a lot of really fun and interesting and inventive and experimental ideas when we talk about this stuff. But I think that's why, you don't see a lot of studio heads signing off on a lot of that kind of stuff, right? But I'm on board, man. I'm on board. And Nathan Pelka, more time in between each new movie, like 4 to 5 years. Yeah, I don't know if you heard me talk about that a little earlier. I do miss that that kind of anticipation and build-up of Star Wars. From 1983 to 1999, no movies. From 2005 to 2015, no movies. And, you know, it's not only no movies, but you think Star Wars is done, right? And then when it comes back, it's just like a jolt of imagination, you know? I don't think we'll never have that again. I don't think. Is that a bad thing? No, it's just different nowadays, right? Kids are growing up thinking, you know, you had to wait 15 years for a Star Wars movie, you old son of a bitch. You know what I mean? It's just different nowadays. But yeah, a little more time between movies to breathe, I think would be good, but at the same time, like 4 to 5 years is a pretty long time. I don't think that will ever happen. If like another trilogy kicks off, I don't think there's any way that there will be that much time in between films. But, you know, maybe individual movies that are not a part of like a trilogy or something like that. Yeah. But, yeah, some more time, a little hiatus, a little break. I am completely on board. Whatever that means, I'm on board. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And Caleb Kemp, thank you so much for the channel support as well. Caleb Kemp coming in with the final super chat and channel support. Is a supporter Q&A happening this month? Yes, I was actually going to post. I meant to do an audio dispatch. I just have not gotten around to it, and I'm pissed off at myself. I haven't done one in a week and a half. I'm pissed off at myself for not doing it. So I will post in Patreon, and probably, I'm looking at the calendar right now, maybe May 19th, I will fire up a Patreon Q&A. I'm going to go ahead and post in there right after the stream, and we'll get that scheduled. I will, yeah. So look out for my post, and you can add a little question in there, but probably tentatively shooting for May 19th, but we shall see. So, oh, my daughter just moved. Is that going to be perfect timing? No way. Really? What's up, Chris? 2 Chris's. What's going on, guys? Hope you're doing well. Nah, she's back to sleep. She just shifted. Like I said, she's basically been up since 1:30 in the morning. She did not want to go to sleep. I even went up there, basically rocked her from 4 to 6 in the morning. Every time I've tried to lay her down, she would cry. We think she's teething, you know, so I'm sure she is super exhausted, as am I. But John Cooley, thank you so much for becoming the latest member of the fleet. Dude, I greatly appreciate that support, that monthly support. Did you guys hear that Death Star alarm? That means we have the newest member of the fleet, and that is John Cooley. If everybody could do me a big favor and type, "Welcome to the fleet, John," I would greatly appreciate that. But dude, John, I don't know if you know this, you get a special role in the HelloGreedo Discord server. There is a link in the video description below. And also, I do supporter Q&As once a month. The next one is going to be on May 19th, which is a Tuesday, probably around 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So keep an eye out for that. They're usually the first Monday of every month. I was not able to do the first Monday this month. It was May the 4th. So this month's will be on the 19th. The next one will be on the 2nd of June. So welcome to the fleet, John. Thank you so much, man. And John, Taika should fully revision Star Wars as an homage to the 1930s space serials George was influenced by. Make it wild, fresh, and energetic. Capture the same spirit of surprise that hit us in 1977. I'm on board, man. I mean, A New Hope is my favorite Star Wars movie. Obviously, the original trilogy is my favorite Star Wars. And I was just actually looking at his IMDb, John, and he is going to be a writer and maybe a director. Let me see. Is he going to be directing this? He is writing, director. He's writing a Flash Gordon movie. He's writing a Flash Gordon movie. So, there you go. Yeah, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for becoming the latest member of the fleet. And Nathan Pelka coming in with a final super chat and channel support before we jet. Nathan just says McClunky. McClunky right back to you. Nathan, thank you so much for the support this afternoon. I greatly appreciate it. McClunky to all you. McClunky to all you. If I do not see you before the weekend, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I don't know what my plans are tomorrow. I might stream tomorrow afternoon. It is Friday after all. We're planning on getting a giant barbecue feast. Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited. So I don't know what my plan will be tomorrow night. Probably will be too stuffed to do a little stream. But I'll see you when I see you. Cool? To everybody who supported the channel this afternoon through Super Chats, thank you so much. I appreciate the hell out of it. Hope you have a good weekend. To everybody who played around in the chat or just listened to my dumb voice, thank you guys for hanging out. So yeah, hoping to get a little video up maybe for the weekend. We shall see. If I don't see you on a stream this weekend, I'll see you probably on Monday. But all right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever the hell you are on planet Earth, and I will catch you all on the flip side. See ya!